Have you ever noticed that the loudest people in the room are rarely the wealthiest? We live in a culture that heavily rewards the appearance of success. You finance the luxury vehicle, you upgrade the phone, you stretch the mortgage, all to build a lifestyle that looks absolutely fantastic from the outside. But quietly, behind closed doors, the math just isn't adding up. The money is disappearing exactly as fast as it comes in, leaving you trapped on a treadmill of monthly bills and quiet panic. Modern money culture teaches us to consume loudly. But true financial freedom is almost always quiet. In Japan, there is a distinctly different approach to managing resources. A philosophy built not on painful restriction, but on intention, awareness, and the concept of enoughness. In this video, we are going to explore 8 quiet Japanese money habits that most people learn far too late in life. These aren't magic formulas or get-rich-quick schemes. They are practical, psychological systems that help you stop performing for others, plug the hidden leaks in your bank account, and finally start building wealth that actually sets you free. Chances are, you are doing everything society told you to do. You work hard, you pay your bills, and maybe you even make more money today than you did 5 years ago. Yet, the financial breathing room you expected never seems to arrive. Every time your income goes up, your expenses quietly rise to meet it. It feels like you are running on a financial treadmill, exhausting yourself just to stay in the exact same place. This is not because you are fundamentally bad with money. It is because the modern financial ecosystem is brilliantly designed to make you spend. We are constantly pressured to perform our wealth, to buy things that broadcast our success to people we barely even know. We unknowingly trade our future freedom for present-day approval. But what if there was another way? A way to step off that treadmill entirely? By looking at money through the lens of traditional Japanese concepts, we can start to dismantle the chaotic spending habits we have been taught to normalize. We can shift our focus from the loud, exhausting pursuit of looking rich to the quiet, unshakable peace of actually being free. Before we explore the specific habits, it helps to understand why these concepts work. Modern behavioral finance heavily discusses signaling, the human urge to buy things simply to show others our social status. It is a loud game, and it is incredibly expensive. Traditional Japanese culture, however, embraces an entirely different approach. There is a deep historical appreciation for the unseen, the quiet, and the enduring. This isn't just a cultural aesthetic, it is a profound psychological shield against consumerism. Behavioral economists repeatedly find that once our basic needs are met, forced accumulation doesn't increase happiness, it just increases maintenance and stress. When you apply this quiet Japanese lens to your personal finances, you stop fighting a losing battle against your own willpower. Instead, you build an environment where wasting money feels uncomfortable and keeping it feels incredibly rewarding. The first quiet habit requires you to stop funding other people's opinions. We live in an era where everyone's highlight reel is broadcast 24 hours a day. This creates a trap where we spend money we don't have, to buy things we don't even really want, just to prove to our peers that we are doing okay. In Japan, there is a beautiful concept called ubatori, obai tori. It is written with the characters for cherry, plum, peach, and apricot trees. The idea is simple. Each tree blooms in its own time, and it never compares its blossoms to the tree standing next to it. When we ignore ubatori in our finances, the visible cost is obvious. Designer clothing upgrades, aesthetic home renovations, and luxury gym memberships. But the hidden real cost is devastating. You are literally trading your future peace of mind for the present-day applause of people who are probably just as stressed about money as you are. The psychological trap is believing that looking wealthy is the exact same thing as being wealthy. The practical system fix isn't to suddenly hate nice things or live in deprivation. It is to ruthlessly audit your inputs. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel behind in life. Unsubscribe from promotional emails that create false urgency. Protect your attention so you can protect your wallet. Quiet wealth often begins when money stops being a performance and becomes a direction. Once you stop performing for others, you have to face the reality of your own accounts. This leads us to the second principle, forcing your money to slow down. Modern money moves silently. Cards tap, subscriptions auto-renew, and payments leave your account before your brain registers the loss. The visible cost is that panicky, sinking feeling at the end of the month, when your balance is near zero and you have absolutely no idea where it went. But the hidden cost is much worse. It is a complete disconnection from the value of your own labor. You trade hours of your finite life for a paycheck, only to let it slip away thoughtlessly into the hands of convenient corporations. The psychological trap we fall into is avoidance. We convince ourselves that if we just don't look at our bank balance, the anxiety doesn't exist. The traditional Japanese countermeasure to this frictionless spending is Kakebo, which translates to a household financial ledger. But Kakebo is not powerful because paper is magical. It is powerful because it forces attention. It asks you to intentionally slow down. The system fix is incredibly simple. Once a week, sit down for 15 uninterrupted minutes with a pen and your bank statements. Force those invisible digital numbers to become real again by writing them down. Awareness does not make you poorer. It gives your money a place to go. As you pay closer attention to your money, you realize how easily spending expands to fill the space we give it. This introduces the third habit, applying the 80% rule to your lifestyle expansion. In Okinawa, Japan, there is a dietary practice called harahachi-ba. It instructs people to eat until they are exactly 80% full and then stop. The wisdom is that the remaining 20% is where discomfort and disease begin. When applied to personal finance, the problem becomes glaring. Whenever we get a raise or a bonus, our spending instantly expands to match our new income. The visible cost is obvious: massive mortgages, constant food delivery, and premium subscriptions. But the real cost is a phenomenon known as golden handcuffs. You lock yourself into such a high baseline of living that you can never afford to take a break, step back, or change careers. The psychological trap here is the dangerous word deserve. You tell yourself you work hard, so you deserve the lifestyle upgrade. The system fix is to apply hara-hachi-bu to your budget. Cap your lifestyle expansion at 80%. If your income grows, enjoy a small portion of it, but instantly redirect the rest into investments before you get used to having it around. Enough is not failure. Enough is the exact place where freedom begins. Once you stop inflating your lifestyle, you begin to notice the waste built into modern consumerism, bringing us to the fourth habit, respecting the hidden value of things. We live in a throwaway culture. When something breaks or bores us, we replace it with a click of a button. In Japan, a powerful word pushes back against this. Matanai. It conveys a deep sense of regret concerning waste, recognizing that every object, every piece of food, and every dollar took resources and energy to create. The visible cost of ignoring this is the constant drain on your bank account from buying fast fashion items and endless convenience goods. But the real cost is much heavier. It is the mental clutter of managing too many things you don't actually care about. A relentless trickle of small transactions can drown your financial future just as surely as one massive mistake. The psychological trap is our modern addiction to dopamine. The fleeting thrill of a package arriving is temporarily stronger than the quiet satisfaction of maintaining what you already own. To fix this systemically, implement a mandatory 48-hour waiting rule for any non-essential purchase. Force the dopamine spike to pass. You will be shocked by how many things you leave in the digital cart once the emotional urge fades. Sometimes, the most powerful financial decision is not earning more. It is needing less from the wrong things. Pushing back against this waste requires a shift in how we handle our desires. That is the essence of the fifth habit, the power of quiet endurance. The modern financial system thrives on our impatience. We are constantly offered the illusion of affordability through buy now, pay later schemes and frictionless credit. In Japan, there is a cultural pillar known as gaman. It translates roughly to enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. In a financial context, it means the quiet power of delaying immediate gratification for a secure future. When we abandon gaman, the visible cost is the crushing weight of high-interest consumer debt. But the hidden cost is much more sinister. Every time you finance a lifestyle you cannot afford today, you are literally borrowing against your future self's energy and freedom. The psychological trap is viewing debt merely as a manageable monthly payment, rather than an invisible chain that dictates where you must work and how you must live. The system fix is to build sinking funds. If you want a new laptop or a vacation, divide the cost by 6 and save that exact amount in cash over 6 months. Force yourself to wait. Delaying gratification isn't about denying joy. It's about protecting your future peace. This impatience feeds directly into the endless upgrade cycle, leading us to the 6th quiet rule, rejecting the pursuit of the new. We are conditioned to believe that newer is always better, and holding on to something old is a sign of financial failure. The Japanese aesthetic of wabi-sabi offers a beautiful counter-narrative. It is the practice of finding profound beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and the natural wear of things. It respects the age of an object rather than rushing to replace it. Our obsession with the latest model carries a massive visible cost, the thousands of dollars vanishing through depreciation the moment you buy the latest smart home gadgets or chase technological trends. The hidden cost is the deep exhaustion of running a race where the finish line constantly moves. The trap is believing that the next upgrade will finally deliver lasting happiness. To break this cycle, implement a mandatory extension period. Once you finish paying off a device, consciously commit to using it for at least 2 more years without a payment. Let it age. Money becomes lighter when it is no longer trying to prove your worth. Freeing yourself from the upgrade cycle leaves you with surplus money, bringing us to the 7th habit, prioritizing your future self first. Most people try to save whatever happens to be left over at the end. Unfortunately, in an ecosystem designed to separate you from your money, there is rarely anything left. The Japanese approach to savings emphasizes choken, a philosophy of intentional, disciplined accumulation. It is not an afterthought. It is the primary directive. When you spend first and save last, the visible cost is a stagnant bank account. But the real cost is tragic. You are putting your own future at the very bottom of your priority list, standing in line behind every corporation trying to sell you something. The psychological trap is the illusion of future willpower, convincing ourselves that next month, somehow, we will naturally want to spend less. The system fix is absolute automation. You do not need more willpower, you need a better default. The moment your paycheck lands, a set percentage must automatically route to your investments before you even see it. Paying yourself first is the ultimate act of quiet self-respect. Finally, we reach the deepest shift of all, the 8th habit: giving your money a meaningful job. Chasing money without ever deciding what it is actually for is a dangerous game. In Japan, the concept of ikigai translates to your reason for being, your profound purpose for waking up every morning. When your money is completely disconnected from your ikigai, the visible cost is either aimless consumer spending or working yourself to absolute burnout just to watch a number grow. The hidden cost is arriving at your financial milestones only to feel completely empty inside. The psychological trap is believing that more is a destination. More is not a goal, it is an exhausting treadmill. The system fix is to clearly define your personal enough number. Calculate exactly what it costs to fund a peaceful, intentional life, and refuse to sacrifice your health, your relationships, or your peace of mind for a single dollar beyond that. True wealth isn't a massive number in an account. It is waking up every day and owning your time. Let's pause for a moment. When you hear about these habits, it is incredibly easy to assume the goal is extreme restriction. That to build wealth, you must stop buying coffee, cancel every vacation, and essentially punish yourself into financial security. But that is completely missing the point. These Japanese concepts are not about deprivation. They are not a magic cultural cheat code, and we are not trying to blindly copy someone else's way of life. Instead, this is about using a different lens to look at your own financial habits. The goal is not to stop spending money. The goal is to stop wasting it on things that do not actually serve you. It is about giving your money a clear direction so that when you do choose to spend it, it brings you genuine peace instead of quiet panic. So where do you actually begin? You do not need a massive financial overhaul today. You just need a system. Here is your action blueprint for this week. First, print out your last 30 days of bank statements. Get a physical pen, channel the spirit of Kakibo, and force yourself to actually look at the numbers on a piece of paper. Next, go through every single transaction and highlight your leaks. I am not talking about your rent, your groceries, or even the coffee that genuinely brings you joy. I am talking about the forgotten subscriptions, the convenience fees, and the impulsive late night purchases that add absolutely zero value to your life. Once you see the leaks clearly, pick just one, cancel that subscription, delete that shopping app, plug that one specific leak today. Then, and this is the most crucial step, do not let that recovered money just sit in your checking account waiting to be spent somewhere else. Channel the discipline of Shokin. Log into your banking app right now and set up an automatic recurring transfer. Move that exact amount of money directly into an emergency fund, a debt payoff plan, or a long-term investment account. You are not losing that money, you are just finally giving it a meaningful job. At the beginning of this video, we talked about how the loudest people in the room are rarely the wealthiest. True wealth is not about what you can show to the rest of the world. It is about the peace of mind you keep for yourself. By adopting these quiet Japanese money habits, from the deep financial awareness of Kakibo to the profound enoughness of Hara Hachibu, you are not just saving a few dollars. You are actively stepping off the exhausting treadmill of modern consumerism. These concepts are not magic, but they are incredibly powerful systems that shift your focus from simply looking rich to actually being free. If this video helped you see your money differently, please subscribe for more conversations on building quiet wealth and intentional living. This video is for educational purposes only and is not personal financial advice. Financial rules, taxes, pensions, and investment products vary by country. Always consider your own situation and speak with a qualified professional when needed.